Hi everybody. I'm not going to say that contrived thing, something about a new year, because as we all know it's complete and utter nonsense. And I felt like doing a video today, this morning. It's very early, but I've no idea what I'm going to talk about, so I guess I'm just going to see where it goes. Right? Bit of tea. It feels extremely oppressive, doesn't it? It has done all through December, and we've had a Mercury retrograde, which again is symbolic because I think most of us here know or feel that the notion of round balls spinning about in space is just ludicrous. It truly is. It's just a mockery. All the lies we've been told. Yes, I believe consciousness creates reality. I do. And everything has gone a bit right. However, we experience this thing referred to laughingly as reality. Language is all wrong. Language is just, it's all wrong. Absolutely horribly wrong. And that in and of itself is a major issue, because how do you express yourself? How do you enunciate, express what you are experiencing when the words and the language for it it's just all wrong. It's like you say something and you think, no, that's not really what it is, and that's not what I mean, and you know, it's very difficult. It's clunky. It's dumb, and it's stupid, and it's gaslighty, you know. And again, it's kind of like a mockery. But I've become really, just over this ludicrous stuff. Every year it's the same, isn't it, guys? And it all starts here anyway, in this fucking country. It starts around sort of September, where you get all the Christmas paraphernalia everywhere. But this year particularly, I've noticed, because you know, sort of people put up their sparkly lights and their, you know, their usual Christmas stuff outside their homes and in their gardens and this, that and the other. You know, there was none of that this year at all. Nothing. The pervading sense of total despair and hopelessness was what typified this Christmas, this fake, contrived holiday. I feel that sold people are really feeling it. They are really feeling it, and whether it's on a more conscious level or on a less conscious level, it reverberates throughout the consciousness of this hell realm, whatever. It really does. That everything is going, well, you know, FUBAR, remember? Fucked beyond all recognition. Well, it's gone even beyond that. My God. See what I mean? My God. I hate it, honestly, language. Maybe I should just sit here and silently and telepathically try to convey whatever I want to say to you and whatever. I mean, it's not as if nothing has been transpiring for me, because that isn't true, but so much of it just I can't put it into words, because my mind, and by that I mean the shadow minds, the I am a human being mind doesn't know what to do with it. It's not logical. It's beyond the ordinary. It's beyond the rational. Because of course the rational and the ordinary and the mundane is evil and it's wrong. It isn't natural at all. It is not who or what we are at all. And well, you guys all know it. I've called it the dark generator, and I've called it the black hand. This pervasive, dark inundation in this world, in this experience, this heavy, oppressive, obstructionist, sabotagey, gaslighty, malevolent thing. Consciousness, whatever, I don't know. Well, I have another name for it now. The Punisher. So about 6 years ago, I was in a place near here, and so this great big truck went by, and it's at the limited edition, you know. And about a second later, another one went by. It said the Punisher edition. And then there was this billboard with an ad on it, and it said "We Go Beyond." So it said the limited edition, the Punisher edition, "We Go Beyond." And I knew it was a maverick effect because it popped up again in a different way, in a different place, and it sort of reasserted that. No. And then about a year ago, I began seeing, you know, that skull, that white skull on a black background with the long teeth, you know, the Punisher. And that kept showing up every fucking where I went. And I became very aware of, because at the same time I was going over the whole religion thing again. The religious program, you're a sinner, you're guilty and dirty and bad and sinful, and you're in hell because you deserve to be, and you deserve to be punished, right? All that. And you work through the layers when you do your inner work. Shit comes up, you know. You sort of. You get your insights and you're guided from within yourself, but also through synchronicity and, well, whatever, all kinds of ways. I call it maverick effect, you call it whatever you like. And this whole Punisher thing is this sense of perpetual persecution that all the people, inverted commas, around you are happily oblivious to, it seems, but no more now. I think most, if not all, most souled people are acutely miserable and aware of being acutely miserable, of being persecuted, violated, abused, gaslit, and in a state of acute PTSD, which belies that terminology, because of course PTSD meaning post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, it isn't post, it's ongoing, and it's complex, ongoing stress, persecution, because it is this heavy force of black, a sense of being crushed down, and it's always here around your nervous system, you know. Just try and remember how perhaps in the past, perhaps, for those of you who may not exactly know what I'm talking about, but you'll get there, no doubt, because it's part of your awakening, right? It's that tarot card again, the Tower, because there's no other way out but through, I feel. So, but you're happily chugging along. You think life isn't too bad, and you know what normies think like. It's like, oh, I've just landed this great job, slave job, but hey, they don't know that, and this and that, and then shit hits the fan, and they're told, oh, you've got bowel cancer, or their wife's got brain cancer, or something happens, and boom. And you get that shock to the system, your whole body, you go weak at the knees, and you get that nervous system thing, and around your forehead, and your nervous system, and your throat, and your heart, and your gut, and you feel it, yeah? Well, I've been feeling that every day throughout December, because I am here now, in that part of my being, my shadow, that I call it the navigator. I call it the navigator. So you're in this thing called duality, right? And I've called it the swirl before, but I liken it to this now, where you got glass, and in that glass is a liquid, and some of that liquid is black, and some of that liquid is white, but it's mixed in and it's swirled into a drink, and you drink it and you have a particular type of experience, right, where you are undeniably in a state of disassociation. You have to be in order to have the experience of duality, because you cannot experience evil and good as separate. You have to experience it as a singular thing that interacts with itself. So evil and light and dark, interact with each other. They have a particular dynamic going. Shit hits the fan. Everybody always waits for the shoe to drop. You know this expression, I expect the worst, that way you won't be disappointed, right? That is common vernacular. When you pay attention to the common vernacular, you know where it's at, right? And yet there is merit to be had from this experience. I mean, the soul trap, call it whatever you like, look at it however you like, but if you still believe that it's all evil and there is no light, then you're barking up the wrong tree, and you really, it's that part of us, the navigator, thinks that way, the passive aggressive element thinks that way. Love is a very important aspect of this experience. Love enables us to do incredible things with this oppression, this persecution thing, the constant sense of danger, of imposing energies of darkness, the constant sense of I am not safe, there's no love, I'm not safe, things are not going to be okay, how am I going to survive? How am I going to survive? But you disassociate from that, you see, so you equate happiness with, oh, it's a holiday season again, or it's the weekends and I'm going to meet up with my friends, or I'm going to buy something, or I'm going to eat something, or when all these disassociation factors are taken away in your awakening journey, and things go really lopsided, you enter that sort of anhedonic state, you enter the land of anhedonia. You begin to feel this perpetual sense of disappointment, of blah. Nothing gives you that lift that you so desperately need in order to carry on disassociating from the perpetual persecution feeling, the oppressive feeling, the sabotagey feeling, the feeling that something could go wrong at any moment. It could come from anywhere, at any time. You have to be on the alert. You have to be prepared. You have to do the constant risk assessment every day. You're not even aware you're doing it, but you do it. Because you're fragmented, you see. You're not whole. You've been MK Ultra, basically, right? And you are in a state of multiple personality fragmentation. That's what it is. Ergo, the soul retrieval journey, which is what shadow work really is, yeah? That's really what it is. It's to travel through the land of yourself, the dark lands of your true self, of your whole being, and through all these different dimensionalities and resets of yourself, to gather back all the pieces, all the lost pieces of yourself. And one of those pieces is what I call the navigator, the part of you that studiously ignores anything good, wholesome, positive and light, because that does not pose a threat. Its job has been survival. Its job has been to look out for what could go wrong. How can I prepare? How do I survive in hell? Perpetual risk assessment, it's all nervous system based. It's a fight or flight operating system. And it's always there. And that is the part of you that believes all the dark programming, that you're worthless, that you're powerless, that evil within there's nothing you can do, that you're sinful and bad, that you deserve to suffer. You shouldn't question anything, you must go along and do whatever evil tells you to do. There's nothing you can do. There's so many different nuances to it. And it becomes very dark and very torturous and very tormented, because when you stop and really think about it, how would that being, that part of you, feel? How do you feel about yourself in that part of you? So that's where the self-attack lies, the self-hate lies there as well. And there's a lot of stuff there. And it's the part of us that we get to at the very end, the very bottom of the barrel, to transmute, to heal, to clear, to cleanse. There are all these etheric, if you know, again, it comes down to belief and it comes down to predictive programming, and it's a weird, miasmatic, complex thing, but etherically speaking, yeah, there are all these implements to keep us down, to keep us trapped in our bodies, in our aura, you know, in our energy body. To see the limited edition, the Punisher has made us limited. It's like you ask most people, what is it you would like if you can have anything? They say, oh, I want to win the lottery. You know? They say that even before they say, well, I want pristine health or something. As if money is the answer to everything. When in fact money is just a tool of control and manipulation. Everybody has to jump whenever they're told to, in whichever way they're told to, every day, in order to get that thing called money, so that they may buy the things they need to survive. It's insane. It's horrifying. It's getting a bit dark here, guys, isn't it? Sorry about that. I'm going to try and have a look and see if I can find a little light or something. Is that a bit better? It probably won't last very long. So then it'll be dark again, but never mind. I'll just put it here. Oh, no. Cool. Limited. Our imagination, emotions, everything we're so limited in every imaginable way. We can't even conceive of what lies beyond that limitation. And what lies beyond that mundane reality imposition is magic. The magical, miraculous flow, the light reset, which is not something that the shadow mind, the basic mind, the Fibonacci mind can understand, and so it's very wary of it. It's like the Maverick effect. It's not a linear thing, you see. It's quite cold today. It's not a linear thing. It goes across all dimensionalities. It goes beyond that which the mind can understand. And yet, my intuition, my heart, trusts it, because it's panned out on many occasions. It's also been mystifying and seemingly a little unreliable in other places, and so it's always difficult. It's very, very, very hard to trust this journey back to the light, to trust that love will see us right. That is the most singularly difficult, there aren't any words for how difficult it is, because we've been so badly treated and persecuted here, and some of us are really going through the bowels of it. I know. I am one of them. It's absolutely horrifying. We are triggered and triggered and triggered by stuff, because this psychotropic substance within us has to be purged out. So you get what I call these purge surges, you know, like where something happens that isn't necessarily threatening, but it feels threatening, and it sets you off to boom. I had it yesterday, all these weird sensations in my jaw going into my, all very etheric, and it was a clearing and a cleansing, and the terror, this is beyond fear, this is terror. And that navigator, that part of you that's only used to the darkness, comes up, and it's like, no, I don't trust the light. You can't trust the light. You can't, you mustn't. Just stay in the dark, it's the only way. But you know what you're going to get in the darkness. Torture, torment, persecution, the crushing. It's appalling. You can't stay there. And yeah, you can say, well, you have nothing to lose, but it really isn't as simple as that, you know. It is very, very tough making this leap of faith and making it again and again and again. You know, and you're a soul traveller, and you're super, super sensitive, and a bit like a sponge. No matter how well you try to not absorb it, you can't help but absorb the energy of the beings surrounding you. Often enough you live in an area where you're surrounded by this toxic sludge that is the mass consciousness. It's that sense of this looming pair of malevolent eyes. See, what did I say? You know, this looming pair of malevolent eyes. There's a really good episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation, and they come across this being in the vastness of space, and it doesn't really have a body, it's just a pair of eyes, and it's massive, and it's just malevolent and nasty. And they said, well, why are you doing what you're doing to us? And because I can. You have that sense of being watched all the time. you know, it's heavy as fuck, and it's all very nervous system, very crushing, and fear ramped up like you wouldn't believe. And I can feel that, well, you can feel it everywhere now, right? They, the others, the soul beings that are not as yet very awake, are also feeling it. They are feeling it. Oh, hold on, guys, because I don't like the idea of darkness. Right, just one of my candles. Okay, I think that's a little better. Is that better? It is, I think. Okay. Yeah. When I talk about the psychotropic substance, I talk about this feeling of a black substance, a black sludge. Some of you might be familiar with that feeling where it's like, get out of me, get it out of me. It's how they control us, how they mind control us, and it comes up often enough as where you feel like you it's all, obviously they use weaponry as well, but it's this feeling of rage and antagonism, and you want to take it out on your loved ones. You feel this really strong impulse, almost like a compulsive impulse, to react, vicious, fuck you, like that. Oh, it's been like that, and it takes all your self-discipline and focus to say, I am not playing that game. It's clearly desperate for loosh, and it wants to be fed, right? So it wants you to be in that space, and it wants you to be antagonistic and hate-filled. And here's the thing that you've got to try and remind yourself of. If you were powerless and you had nothing, it wouldn't be doing this, because you would not be a food source. You would have nothing to offer it. The reason it's doing what it's doing is because it's desperate for food, and we, soul travelers, are the best food there is, you know. Believe me. And it wants feeding. And you have a choice to opt out and feel it and release it, and feel it and release it. And it was like, because I went for a walk the other day in some woods near here, and it was a Saturday, and that's generally when you get the runner club. They're mostly Hylics, you know, NPCs. You know this, I know this, because the smell of washing powder is just, wow, incredible. And somehow, because I got there quite early and it was dark, and I had my torch, and I had a lovely walk, and I could hear the owls and whatnot, and it was beautiful, and it smelled really good, and it was good. But then, getting back, of course, there was this whole group of the NPC runners, and there was no way around them at all. I had to go right through them. And there was all these emotions of antagonism and hatred and feelings of, oh, this, you know what I mean, all this type of really toxic sludge that you think somehow is justified and will help you, or it's like a defense mechanism that doesn't defend you at all, but actually makes you sick. It's very low vibration. It wants you there, you see, it wants us there, because we are the best food on offer as soul travelers. So I just put up my, see, I use color resonance and that sort of thing, and I just put up my protection and stayed in neutral. I call it a compassionate, forgiving neutral, because the way I see it, they weren't doing me any harm at all. I have no reason to hate them. I have no reason to like them. They are neither here nor there. They're just there. They're like props, really. Do you know what I mean? But they can harbour energies you don't want to have anything to do with. So I put up my protection and I walked right through them, and it was weird because they all just moved. It was like, wow. And it didn't touch me, it didn't trigger me, nothing. Like a hot knife through butter, no problem. And I've learned this over the last few months, but even more so over the last month through December, that if you project onto your world, your experience, agitation, hatred, conflict, all that sort of stuff, expectations of harm or expectations of people being demonic, or oh, he's a demon and this and he's that and she's that and they're that and oh, I hate them and these fuckers. That is what you're gonna get. That is exactly what your experience will engender. But when you let go, see, love, you can be in a state of love, of gentle, loving, compassionate being, of recognizing that, okay, this feels like that and that feels like that, and this person is, no, I don't want anything to do with that person, this is the wrong energy for me. Love is very wise and very powerful. It knows exactly what is what and who is who and where is where. It just does. And when you're guided by that, you are guided through. You really just are, fine, you know? And there's no need for antagonism. There's no need for judging or condemning or hatred or any of that at all. You can be in the state of, okay, yeah, I need to stay away from that. Love protects and love guides you. It is very wise. It knows exactly what is going on. It has impeccable discernment. Whereas the dark side, with its hate and antagonism and its conflict and its vengeance and its all that type of stuff, it just leads to self-destruct every fucking time. It torpedoes you every time. And this is why, despite everything, I still trust in love. I still believe that love will see us right. It will see me right. It will see you right. It will see all beings, soul beings, home. I've seen love. I have felt it deep within my being. The magical, miraculous flow. And it's coming to that point where you can choose, because you've been in a state of unspeakable torment your whole life, in a disassociative state. Yeah, you know, let's have a little spliffy and let's watch a bit of this and let's go on holiday and whatever, right? Disassociation. But all that's finished. You went into the land of Anadonia and then beyond into the land of terror. Because you have to face it all and you have to bring home every part of you. You see? And when there's nothing left, you come back to that glass that has contained that liquid, the black liquid and the white liquid, but the liquid is now separated. You see? So now it's two glasses. On the left you have the glass with the black liquid, and on the right you have the glass with the white liquid. So you now see the essence, you know the essence of evil, you feel it, and it's horrifying. The Punisher, and it's robbed you of, well, just about everything, right? And on the other side we have love, and it reveals itself to be incredibly powerful, infinitely powerful, yet incredibly gentle. And that is something the shadow mind can't make any sense of, because it equates power with control, force, effort, with violence, pushing, making it happen. But love is about surrender and letting go. It's about a flow, it's about a belonging. It's very difficult to put into words, right? And the wisdom of it. And despite how dreadful everything feels right now, you see, it's evil, just doesn't want you to choose light, doesn't want me to choose light. It's like, no, you can't trust love. Love is nothing. Love is nothing. There is no love. Love is evil pretending to be love, and no. The whole false light paradigm comes up a hell of a lot, and it's always about, yes, the New Age, I've talked about that, but religion, the punisher, the punishing God, the psychopathic God, and the whole Garden of Eden story, and sin, and all of it is an illusion, delusion, because we are beings of light, and we are beings of love. And all of it can be and will be expunged. That is what this is all about. And we're looking at the glass which holds the black liquid. The essence of the dark side, the essence of evil, that which creates the dark side of duality. Because they've separated now the wheat from the chaff. They're no longer in a relationship. They have divorced each other. And so it's become very clear who is who and what is what. And that is the moment of choice. 0 point in a way. But again, it's that psychotropic substance, the mind control substance, that Neptune factor that makes it very difficult to discern it because evil is right. It's very hard. That's got to be transmuted and cleared and alchemized and neutralized, and there's probably a few words you can use for that, and none of them are going to be quite right. It's like we're in between two worlds right now, Feels like that. Never before have we seen as clearly as we see now the squalor, the dirty, squalid, monstrous abomination that is this world, this realm. It used to be, when we were still in a fugue, disassociative state, a pleasure. It could be a pleasurable experience, and it could be a very bad, terrifying experience. It was both, and you did gain things from it, and I do believe that at the end it will be distilled, and we will extract that pearls, that which we want to get, to remain, to keep from it, that which will add to our overall being in perpetuity, in the infinite, right? And everything else will be expunged. It will be no more. It will be okay. That which now has a hold on us through the trauma will no longer harm us. It will no longer have that power. We will simply look at it and see it, but it will harm us not. It will influence us not. It won't touch us at all. It will be as nothing. It will go back to the beginning as well, because it cannot be allowed to exist anymore, you see. Ergo, we had to go to the root of it. We had to go to the root of evil, and we had to meet it there face to face and do our most sacred work there in that place. That had to be done. That has to be done. There's no other way. And so we get to that navigator part of our being, you see. Yes, but what about love? Yeah, love, never mind. Love doesn't threaten the fuck out of me. Love doesn't persecute me. Love doesn't torture me, torment me, threaten me, harm me. I need to always keep my eye on everything that is bad. It's the only way to stay safe, you see. And when you really carefully pay attention to all the other souled people, because if you pay attention to the Hylics, the NPCs are always happy. They don't do that because they don't think. They don't have consciousness. They don't have awareness. They don't have perception. No, right? So they're just the props, whatever, it's fine. But if you look at souled people, you see how crushed they are now. You see? They are becoming increasingly aware of it, you know, and things are happening and things are shifting. It's not at all as it once was. That whole duality cocktail has been blown out the water. And they have to move through that darkness as well, one way or another. There is no other way. It has to be confronted, felt, experienced, transmuted, neutralized, whatever. And we feel all that, you see, because we're empaths, we feel it all, we can feel it all, and we're surrounded by this dreadful suffering of all the animals, of all of nature, of all the soul people, all souled beings, all beings of light are really fucking going through it, and we can really feel that. Not that we're martyrs or anything. You know, it isn't like that exactly. I mean, it's easy to think, well, what are we then, martyrs? No. It's a kind of sacred convergence. It's all happening, and it's happening across a very wide place, dimensionally. And it's going from terminal velocity to infinite velocity, I think. Yeah? The resets are coming in hard and fast. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but it's like there you are and you have a bruise on your arm, and then later on that evening you think, oh, where's the bruise gone? It's gone. The next day it's back, but it's on the other arm, or it's lower down. It's you're not even in the same body from moment to moment, and you're beginning to feel that sense of heavy imposed constriction. That is the limitation imposed by the Punisher. You're trying to wrestle free your imagination, which is your magic, because consciousness creates reality. You've been in so many ways under the heavy influence and inundation of the Punisher, so that you're being predictively programmed all the time, imagining all these torturous nightmares, right? It's better to expect the worst and blah blah blah. So whilst you've been doing that, that is the predictive programming. Ooh, what if that happens, and what if that happens, and what if that happens? And then a lot of people get that sort of sense of after Christmas, because it's like, oh, it's back to the grindstone again, and that comes to that really heavy feeling of, oh god, we're never going to get out of here, there's no way out, all is lost, this is all there is. Heavy. right? Because it wants to carry on predictive programming, because it wants all the bad things to happen, because that's where it lives. And it's a horrifying experience, because you're there and you don't want to have these thoughts, but you can't help it, which is why the law of attraction is such a crock of shit. They think they can just pretend that, oh, you just change thoughts, and it doesn't work like that at all. You actually have to purge out the toxic sludge. You have to do your inner work. But when I get these types of thoughts, there are days where it really gets to me, and you get the resulting cascades of terror, or grief, or rage, or all of them at the same time, and it's very hard going, I know. But you can work through it, move through it, keep moving through it. Because love has got our back, you see. Because love is very powerful, and very wise, and very discerning. If love was weak and stupid and ineffectual, it would not have that type of power. But it's hard, because we've been through so much, and the trauma is so overwhelming. And you're still there trying to work out, why the fuck would anybody want to have this type of experience? But when the two liquids were in the same glass, you had fun. I mean, I think back to when I was in my 20s and even my 30s, and I've had lots of experiences that, if I had that experience now, I'd shudder with dread. But when I had it then, I thought it was cool. I can alchemize and distill this experience and take out of it that which is the gold, the treasure, and let the rest be no more. Let evil be expunged and be no more. Let my consciousness be whole again. Let me be whole again. Let me be my true self again, which is magical, miraculous flow. My imagination functioning on all parameters, and that limitation imposed by the Punisher gone. I'm not saying that has to happen in one foul swoop either. But you've got to be able to allow yourself to experience non-ordinary consciousness, which can get very surreal, but it is actually the natural way of it all. Because this experience, the self-replicating Fibonacci world, is artificial. It isn't real at all. And this is not how things really work. We know that because it's all falling apart, right? But the non-rational, non-ordinary experience is where it's at. And it will come up from within you. It does for me. It is non-local. It is quantum. It's infinite. And we are creator beings, you know. We are magical beings. But it is beyond the contrived teachings of the New Age or anything on the external. So you've got to fly by the seat of your pants and trust what comes up from within you, rather than tuning into what other people are saying it is, because it isn't for them to know who you are and what you are capable of. It's for you to discover, you see. At the end of the day, it really just is. But I know that it will come from within, you know. I know that it's been incredibly difficult, incredibly painful, and that it is very much wanting us to give in and give up and all that. And it is like between two worlds, the 0 point, and that choice to let go as much as you're able to, and to trust the power of love, of which you are a part. It's about wholeness, it's about the magical, miraculous flow, the light reset. Because the dark inundation that is the Punisher it is still coming in hard and fast, and it wants us to be terrified, and it wants us to be frozen and paralyzed with fear. Expect the worst, just literally like, and it's a very tough nut to navigate. And the whole, all the way through December, oh fuck. Christmas Day was one. It was just like, oh my fucking god, it's gonna kill us. It felt that strong, it was horrifying. But we got through it, I got through it. And I know when it's like that there is a clearing, a purge surge going on, right? It is about frequency. It is about rising higher and higher to a place where evil simply can no longer touch us in any way, shape or form. And then it can't feed and it dies and it is no more. That's it. Just like at the end of that film, The Celestine Prophecy. It's not a very good film, but I do like it and I like the book. Because they stand on a mandala and they are consciousness-wise clear, and they are on a frequency where these psychopaths with their guns, they can't even see them, you know, like that. Ergo, that psychotropic substance has to be cleared out, transmuted, neutralized. And it gets heavy, I know. But we won't give in and we won't give up, because we trust in the power of love. Yeah. I think that's it for today. Just try and remind yourself, I do, of, take note of love. When love communicates with you, within you, when you feel it, you sense it, you know beyond any doubt that it is a powerful force. Force is not the right word for it actually, but it is powerful. And then the dark side comes in again and goes, no it isn't, it's weak and I am all powerful and I always win and there's nothing you can do and look what's happened and look what's going on and look and that hurts and something is going on and oh you're not going to be alright. And it feels really heavy, black, overwhelming, and sometimes you can't get out from under it, I know, but yet you do eventually come out of it. And then you have some clarity and you get it and you see it and you see, yes, clearing. But it's there saying, oh, it's never going to end, you know, it's never going to end, no. It's never, the light's never going to materialise, it's never going to manifest anything, there's no way out, you're never going to get anywhere, you're not getting anywhere, you know, all these types of thoughts, and it's horrible. You're used to believing all of that, you see? The navigator believes all of that. And it believes that you're bad and dirty and sinful and all that. It's where you are most bitterly against yourself. the very bottom of the barrel, the last of it. So bear with it, guys. Bear with it. And remind yourself of love, of how it is, of what it is, of the beauty of it. That incredible, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. There is no way that evil could pretend to be that. It tries, but evil's a parasite by nature. So this energy, this power, this love is not parasitical in any way or shape or form. It nourishes you. It gives you life. You know this, you feel this every time. It takes nothing away from you. It gives to you. There, always. It buoys you, it feeds you, it nourishes you infinitely. The dark side wants something from you. And when it comes to you and pretends to be the light, it's always with an aim to feed off you, and you will know the difference every time. You will know. Just like you know the difference when you're out there between soul beings and non-soul beings. The energy signature is vastly different. So it's a matter of being present and being aware. But it's easy to forget because we've been on automatic in the fugue for most of our life. And we still, get distracted very easily because there's so much going on all these different levels, you see. But I reckon we're doing very well, and I'm just, I'm glad you're all here at the Kismet Spiral. Back in the day, when the fake flu psyop started, I did quite a few videos where I was mentioning it by name, as well as talking about the spikes by name, and the powers that we've been taking down quite a few of my videos. So so I won't mention these words anymore because obviously, but again, this is the type of thing that happens. Triggers happen and you think, oh, this is bad, this is a bad sign. But these triggers lead to the purge surges, right? To clear out that psychotropic substance that is the dark side of duality, that is evil, that is the trauma as well. Lots of trauma being healed and cleared and etherically and this, that and the other. There's a lot going on, and I don't really want to go into detail because we all have our own way of looking at it, really, and I want to honour that. I have my own way of working through this and whatnot, and you will have your way of doing that, and that is as it should be, because we are all individuals, yet we belong. Yes. So I think that's it for today. I did say that about 10 minutes ago, didn't I? We need to keep reminding ourselves of love and the power of love and the beauty of love and the radiance of love, and that really sharp, incredible wisdom that it has and discernment that it has. That way of navigating this experience through love, and how potent that is. Love protects, you see, it does. So be aware and don't project garbage onto this experience, onto people or the non-people, because you feed it, you see, and you don't need to do that. You really don't. You do it as a defense mechanism. You do it because of the psychotropic black sludge that makes you feel this antagonizing, but you don't have to fall for it. You don't have to give in to it. You don't have to let it possess you. You can step out of it and say, no, I don't play that game anymore. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Choose love. So all my love to all of you. Thank you for being here. Bless you.